Just got back from Austin, Texas last weekend, and wanted to talk through kind of the weekend, the show, how it went, who I met. Last time we were in Austin, it was hot. It was very hot. The venue was not great. We were outside in this tent and we were sweating because the AC wasn't working, but we hit 1 million subscribers at that show, so it was very exciting. Oh my God. Thank you guys. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you guys. So this is my first time back to Austin since then. Much better venue, much cooler, both from a architectural standpoint as well as temperature-wise. But I travel with Beard Dad and Will. We all fly out of Richmond, and we went through Dallas into Austin. Got picked up at the airport by Andres, who is one of the staff with the trading card con, to pick us up from the airport to save some money on Ubers. First thing we wanted to do was find some barbecue. Will and I were walking outside of the hotel, and I started Googling, basically barbecue near me. And the first thing that popped up was Coop's Old Fashioned Pit Grill. There's a place called Cooper's Old Time Pit Barbecue.
Oh, we have to go there.
We might have to go there.
We gotta go there.
Based off the name alone, I told Will we have to go. We gotta go to Cooper's and check it out. So we walked over. I ordered the mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, the peach cobbler. I'm a big cobbler fan, and the brisket. The sides were great. The cobbler was good. The brisket for the first 2 bites was really good, and then unfortunately was not super great. It's a little dried out. But all in all, the meal was fine. It was a little expensive, I think, for both Will and I. It was like $71. I feel like the meat itself needs to be good for the place to be good, but I think the sides carried it. We saw that Tom Brady has a card shop in Austin called Card Vault. So Card Vault by Tom Brady. So we walked over. Again, that was very close to. We checked it out. Very, very predominantly sports cards. Not surprising since Tom Brady is a football player or was a football player. I don't know. He's retired, right? And so we checked out what they had. They had a little bit of sealed stuff, some One Piece, some Pokemon. It's kind of cool to see what singles they might have. But again, not a huge selection on the TCG side. What was really cool is they had this big open vault, which they had some signed memorabilia, some stuff from Tom Brady, as well as some other people. So all in all, if you like sports cards, it seemed like a pretty cool place. Like I said, from a TCG perspective, not a huge selection. Couple of singles. They had like 1 case of singles and a few sealed products. On Fridays, the show starts in the afternoon, and Phil and I don't vend on Fridays. We only vend on Saturday and Sunday. So gives us a chance. Phil actually usually gets a tattoo. It's kind of been a tradition of his now ever since he started getting tattoos. So he just finished up his whole one-piece sleeve up his arm. He got Alakazam this past weekend above the Nidoking, as well as his wife's name on his wrist. Fridays give us a chance to kind of walk around, meet vendors, do some shopping. And so Will and I went and started to just kind of check out the show. It opened a little later. The venue, we couldn't get in. The staff couldn't get in until noon to set up. Then vendors couldn't get in until 3 o'clock. So I didn't go over there until probably 2:30. And so vendors were still setting up. The show started at 4, so people were kind of in a rush to get situated. So I didn't want to bother too many people walking around. But we did meet one vendor. Will had been hunting for this exclusive Japanese One Piece collection, which this vendor had, and Will was able to pick up, which was really neat. Met another vendor who makes custom magnets, and he'd actually made my logo on a bunch of custom magnets that I was able to give away, which was really neat. And then he asked if I wanted any of his other ones that he made. And so I picked up a Mario Pikachu magnet. Cookie Saito, my favorite Pokemon artist, drew the Mario Pikachu, my favorite Pokemon card. And so I had to get that really cool magnet. And then he had me sign one of the logo ones that he had made for me as well. And then I actually picked up some really cool, I picked up 2 slabs. Both of them are Weiss Schwarz Attack on Titan slabs. I got an Aaron Yeager signature PSA 10 and a Levi signature PSA 10. Also on Fridays, we do a live taping of a podcast. Phil and I both sit down and kind of just chat, shoot the breeze for an hour. And after we finish doing that, we usually do kind of an impromptu meet and greet. And so we finished the podcast around 8 p.m. on Friday. And then folks came up, and I think we went until about 11. Just meeting people, folks that may not be able to come back on Saturday or Sunday while we're vending, in order to take some photos and sign some stuff. So got to meet a lot of really awesome people Friday night as well. All right, Saturday, day 1. We usually start around 9:30, 10 a.m., and then go until our lines are finished. One of the first people I met was Inga. Inga is a creator who does upcycling. So she takes a bunch of bulk cards, she turns them into jewelry and different things. And actually, Trading Card Con had invited her because she's a couple hours north of Austin, invited her to come down. So she was there, got to meet her. She picked up some bulk from me to hopefully upcycle into some really cool stuff. She was on the phone with her husband as she came up to my table. And so I jokingly was like, oh, let me talk to him. She handed me the phone and I said hello, and I heard the click as he hung up. So one of the first times I've gotten hung up on at a show like that. Next up, I met a really cool guy who was working on a Metagross master set. Metagross being my second favorite. I had to take a look at it. He had this really cool binder that he said a coworker had hand painted like the Metagross Evolution line on. It looked really neat. And then he was only a couple shy of a full master set. One of the ones he was missing is the Metagross Gold Star, which is really, really cool. Gold Stars, if you don't know, are relatively rare vintage cards that showcase Pokemon in their shiny forms. Has a really unique gold star, literally by their name, which is kind of designating almost like that shiny symbol, that they are shiny Pokemon. So Metagross Gold Star, I got gifted one a couple years ago by a good friend of mine, Steven, for a Secret Santa. He gave me a Japanese PSA 7 Unlimited Metagross Gold Star. So one of the few Gold Stars that I have in my own personal collection. Someone picked up a Reggie Drago card from me, and I've sold a dozen of these cards. And I've never noticed, and they pointed this out, there is a Lugia in the background, flying in the background of this card up in the sky. For some reason, I've never seen it back there. I think I've always just looked at the forefront of the Reggie Drago sitting there. Hey, you learn something new every day. Ben and Zach came to my table, and they were using something very unique that I hadn't seen come through before, and that is that Ben can earn points by being nice to his sibling, by doing well in school, by doing his chores, by being polite. And as he earns points, he can use that to spend on Pokemon cards. And so he's with his dad, Zach, and he spent some of his points. He picked up a Charizard V-Star, as well as a Galarian Zapdos. That V-Star is from the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. I met this next family actually on Friday night while we were kind of doing an impromptu meet and greet after the live taping of the podcast. And they didn't have any sort of like Koopa Trooper merch or anything like that. And then I see them coming up on Saturday, and they're wearing my hats, the ones I sell on my website. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I love the hats. And so it was really cool to see them repping the merch. It was awesome that they came back and waited after meeting me on Friday. And they ended up picking up some cool cards in a trade as well. Kira came and gave me a really amazing Gengar art. They had written on the back, I know Steelix is your favorite, but Steelix is really hard to draw, so I drew you a Gengar instead. And so they can definitely appreciate that. Steelix can be very tricky with all his angles and stuff, and the Gengar art turned out really, really great. So Kira, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the gift. And then Kira's sister actually painted me a Pikachu on a little easel that I got to display for the show, and I brought that home with me. Next up, I got some really cool 3D printed clickers. They were all in the shapes of all the different evolutions, kind of like a fidget thing you could click from Addie. Addie brought me a bunch of bags to give out of these clickers, and then ended up picking up some Charizards, Houndoom, Shiny Charmeleon, and walked away with some really cool cards. And we got to give away I think we gave away every single one of those clickers too. I met my very first Ratata fan. You like Ratata? No one has ever told me that. I used to say ratatata, but I'm pretty sure it's ratata. And so they said that their favorites Ratata and Raticate, and I actually had a shadowless Raticate from a big vintage lot that I picked up at some point, and so I was able to gift them that, since they're the very first Ratata Raticate fan I've ever come across. So I had to give them something cool. And then we also ended up doing a pack battle. Paisley, Finley, and their dad came through with a bunch of gifts. Their dad gave me a challenge coin, which is a military thing, which is really cool. I've gotten a few of those over the course of the last 2 years, which is always really, really neat. And then a 3D printed duck repping the Texas football team. And then Paisley and Finley had taken the time to fill a bunch of those small mini binders with a ton of cards to give out to help kids that are starting out, or anyone who's really getting started with their collection. It's always really awesome when kids take the time to do that for others. I was able to give the clickers from Addie that Addie had dropped off. Both the Paisley and Finley had evolutions that they liked, and so we gave them clickers. Both of them wanted to pick up a really cool Charizard card, and so to make it fun, I put the cards behind my back, and I had the girls choose which card was in which hand. But they threw me for a loop a little bit. They both picked the same hand, which is the first time that's ever happened. Which hand has the shiny Charizard in it? The right side? Which Charizard has the VMAX in it? That one. The right side? You both picked the right side?
Yes.
But how did you know that I put both of them in one hand?
Because we're psychic. Magic.
Nope, just kidding. There you go. So you guys can have those as gifts.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you're awesome. You're such an inspiration.
Oh.
It's so
Well,
cool
thank
to have
you.
people like you, man.
I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate you coming out to see me. The next interaction I had definitely struck close to home. I met Freddie. He came up with his wife, and he gave me a book. And it was about their son, Freddie Jr. Freddie Jr. had passed away in 2012 from squamous cell carcinoma, which is a type of skin cancer. It's actually the type of cancer I had removed right here on my cheek. This larger spot was basal cell being the least likely to metastasize. But Freddie Jr. had passed away after a courageous fight with squamous cell carcinoma. When they found it, he was actually in stage 4 and was just 17 at the time. Freddie Sr. shared all this with me. He shared this book about his son. I actually have it right here. So he gave this to me. He wrote me a little note in the back, and we chatted a little bit about his experience and mine. And I just really appreciate him coming through and sharing this story of Freddie with me. I want to continue to be a strong advocate for skin health. Please, please, please go to a dermatologist at least once a year. Get your skin checked. Wear sunscreen when you're out in the sun, especially if you're as white and pale as I am. If you're going to be outside for an extended period of time, either make sure you're wearing clothes that provide that protection or wearing sunscreen. It's something that I want to make sure people are aware of, and the dangers of skin cancer. I know that skin cancer is relatively common in adults. It's something people catch all the time and have burned off or cut out and all that. But sometimes it does metastasize, and there is a risk. So please, please, please get your skin checked and wear your sunscreen. After Freddie, I had a very emotional connection with another person who came through, Erica. Erica first just came up. She had brought a bunch of cross-stitched gifts to give away, really cool Pokeball designs. Then she'd worked on an Evolutions one that she said had taken her about 2.5 months to complete. And she was going to give that away, but someone had actually offered to buy that from her. I didn't notice at the time that she was getting slightly emotional. And when I did, she shared that, she had been through so much recently, and my content and Phil's content had really been a help for her at that time. And, I always hate to hear about the difficulties people have to go through. But I'm happy that my content and Beard Dad's content can be a small crutch in those times. She shared that she lost her dog, which hit me. I had lost my, Lauren and I lost our dog last year, Milo, an 18-year-old dachshund who we'd had for about 11, almost 12 years. I don't think I've ever cried so much when we were in the vet's office and had to put him down. It was not an easy thing. I had no idea I would react the way that I did, and it was really, really heartbreaking. So I knew where she was coming from. She mentioned that her grandpa passed away, which it's never easy to lose a family member. And she had gone through surgery recently, and she had gone through all this stuff. And at the moment, I felt like she just really needed a hug. And so I got up and, we embraced for a second. I felt like we just really connected. And so I really appreciate Erica coming through, not only with gifts to give away, but for sharing the difficulties she'd been through and the help that I'd been in that time. All right, so a lot of slightly heavy hitting experiences, but I want to share those with you guys. A lot of people see them on the live stream and they happen, but it can really resonate with me. So, well, how about we talk about some food? So I had a guy come through and he brought these Pokeball conchas. I think they're called conchas. It's like this really sweet bread that was decorated to look like a Pokeball. They were phenomenal. I ate all of them. I shared one with Will. I do share sometimes, but I had one like almost immediately and then ate the rest throughout the show. But man, they were really good. And since I can't really get away from my table, I'm at the mercy of food that shows up at my table. And so those were perfect. Those were perfect. So thank you for those. Something very interesting happened a little later in the show. For the very first time, I was serenaded at my table, and I will let the song speak for itself.
You started.
Yo, 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 yo. It's time to ship out Binks's brew. Oh, we both forgot. We got nervous. There you go. Time to ship out Binks's brew.
Gather
Up all of the crew. It's time to ship out Binks's brew. Sea wind blows to where, who knows, the waves will be our guide. Or across the ocean skies, waves of sunshine far and wide. Birds who sing of cheerful things, the circles far and by. Yo, 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 yo.
Alright, you're not allowed to put that.
I know, that was awful.
You totally flamed it up.
We both got nervous. It happened. Stream, we saw the cameras and then got
I know.
You guys did great. I'm really proud of you both.
We practiced, don't worry.
I've never been serenaded like that before, so thank you. So how was that? Pretty good, right? Pretty good. All right, so after I finished vending for the day, I went out onto the main floor where vendors were still kind of doing their thing. Bye. Thank you for coming. Have fun hanging out with Beer Dad. Bye. Of course, you're so welcome. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. Of course, come on in. Of course. All right. You got a favorite Pokemon?
Bubble Mew, Charizard.
Nice. Oh yeah, sure.
Their line just closed
For Beer Dad. What's your name, by the way?
Vivian.
Vivian. Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Snorlax.
Snorlax. Okay. There you go. You're welcome. Hi. How are you? Do you want me to sign your binder?
Yeah.
All right. What's your name?
Santiago.
Santiago. Do you want me to sign on the front or on the back?
The back.
The back?
I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome. There you go.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. I love it. You're very welcome. Whenever I get vintage cards, because of the folks that come through through my booth. People who come through my line are oftentimes families. They're working on very modern sets, either master sets or just collecting a couple of cool things. And so vintage for me doesn't really move too much. So whenever I get vintage, either that comes through my table or I get outside of a show, I take it to other vendors to try to trade for modern. I'm usually able to trade vendors like 1-to-1 market value vintage for modern or whatever it might be. And so I was able to do a pretty big deal. It was worth about 2,000 in vintage for 2,000 in modern, from a vendor who also, I saw had a really unique item. It was a square cut Charizard that was sealed. The person he got it from was claiming that it was a gift given to Wizards of the Coast employees. I don't know that anyone can prove it. I posted it on my Instagram, and it's gotten like 2 million views, a ton of comments, tons of people are sharing their view on this card. It could very well have just been someone cut out of an uncut sheet the Charizard and self-sealed it. Who knows? The world may never know. But it was very unique, very cool. I hadn't seen anything like that before. Across from him was another guy who was taking in some vintage, and I ended up trading him about 4,000 in vintage for modern. All of this for inventory for Sunday, as well as for future shows. It's always needing to get more cards to have for shows. And he actually wanted to do a coin flip. I think there was about a $200 delta. It was like 3,800 in vintage for 4,000 in modern. So we wanted to do a coin flip this way or that. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do a legitimate coin flip and see if I can win. Oh, jeez.
Like gambling.
I don't know that I'm willing to do 300 or 0. I mean, I'll do a little bit. I'll do like 150, okay. 200. You want to do 2-1? I'll do 2-1. No, that's not enough. Yeah. That's too much in my favor.
150, 250. Yeah.
That's fine. Do that. That's fine.
Would you like to flip it, or do you want me to flip it?
You flip and I'll call, because I'm always the one flipping.
Okay. All right, we got
okay.
Tails.
Tails?
Heads.
Heads.
All right.
Okay. All right.
On there.
I'm going to say tails.
That probably jammers us.
Let's go!
Right on this.
Let's go! It's about time, chat. It's about time. Awesome. I finally won a coin flip. Let's go. So that was also a pretty fun experience. I met this guy who came up to me as I was out on the main floor, and he mentioned his wife makes creepy things, gross things. It's an understatement. They were pretty grotesque. They were nasty. It's these very ugly molded things, but she is phenomenal at making them look wet and sweaty and drooling, and the human looking teeth, it kind of grossed me out a little bit. There was one that was like just puckering up. He probably sounds like, hey guys, I got a silk on my head. Hey. There was another one that was like, had his tongue out. It kind of looks like he was licking stuff.
5 stream later.
And the drool just looked so real. Oh, it gave me the heebie-jeebies. She wanted to give me one. She ended up giving me probably the least gross of the set. It's like this little fruit guy who's just like got his bottom lip. It's like, So I have that as a gift, which was interesting. I got to meet her and her husband and her kids and chat with them for a little bit. And then they went and took Beard Dad, a really nice gift for Phil's wife. And then this kid comes up to the vendor who I just done the deal with for the vintage stuff. And this kid, I don't know, he's maybe 13, who knows? And he walks up and he's like, hey, I really want to open a blister pack. What do you have? And the guy's like, all I have is this base set blister, which is $1,400. And the kid's like, yeah, that's good. This kid drops $1,400, buys a base set blister, rips it open. So now she's got the pack, rips the pack open, and actually pulled something.
Flip it over, Greg. 3 to the front.
I'm like shaking right now.
I don't blame you.
Give me might not do
Alright.
this. Okay, flip them over. Go one by one. This is your right in front.
Yes, sir. Poly World. Charmander. Energy. Alright, the next one's gonna be the hit. I saw the red and I was like, my heart skipped a
Shaking.
So all that money spent for a foil Ninetales from a blister, I don't know, it was wild. It was just wild to see someone so young roll up with that cash and just rip a blister pack. So, all right, on to day 2, Sunday. Some of the first people that came through were Trey and Mavry. Trey whipped out a full art Mewtwo and said, "Here, you can have this to give away." And I was like, "You know this is $40, right? It was the full art Mewtwo." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." His dad was like, "He really wants to give it away." And so we got that Mew to give out, and then we did a really cool trade as well. Ben and Zach came back. We saw them on Saturday. This time, Zach came bearing snacks. Zach gave me a ton of trail mix snack packs, which was really awesome because it's always good to have snacks on the planes as I'm flying back and forth across the country. Ben actually picked up a Mega Embor, which I love the art on Mega Embor. I love the colors. I think the card looks really, really cool. And then he picked up the Charizard V from the Ultra Premium Collection, and you'll remember the day before he'd actually picked up the V-Star. So he now had 2 of the 3 Charizard promos from that UPC set. I was gifted a Mario and Luigi plushie to give out, which is really neat, and I decided to do a little Mario impression. I think it's pretty good, so I want you guys to hear it. Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
And then some little toys for them.
What, did you guys know what Mario says?
Let's go.
Let's go. He goes, "It's me, Mario. Wahoo!" How was that? How was that? Wahoo! Let's go. I think I would say, I mean, I'm no Chris Pratt, right? I'm no Chris Pratt.
Say that again about my brother, and you're gonna regret it.
And actually, we got donations for the group at the table, that everyone at the table, the kids and the parents and everyone, were able to get $25 towards some of the cards that they wanted. But before we do that, I do want to let you guys know that each one of you has $25 from some donations to spend here.
I know I saw in the chat. I saw for us. For
Yes,
all of us?
yes, everyone, all 4 of you, yeah.
Okay.
And you too, if you want it. I mean, I can make it work.
Okay.
Yes. Dane and Anthony rolled up in matching Gengar shirts, which I thought was very neat. They mentioned that they're always on the hunt for Gengars. Gengar is a card, it's a character where the cards, they go fast. It's rare that I hold on to Gengar cards very long. Gengars, Mimikyus, Evolutions, Pikachus, Charizards, they go fast. They go very, very fast. And so I didn't have any Gengars for them, but they did see some other stuff that they liked. Dane said he was hunting the Perfect Order SIR Meowth, which I had. And he had brought some really cool trades, including the magazine promo Steelix, which is a Steelix I still haven't gotten on a PSA 10 yet, but maybe one day. So definitely wanted to trade him for that, as well as some other stuff. And then we did a coin flip as well. All right. So we've got heads, which is Pikachu, and we've got tails, which is the Pokeball. And you'll call it, all right? Oops.
Tails.
Son of a gun. You got it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Raul came up with his dad and his sister, and they were working on something really neat. He was focused on connecting cards that tell a story. So a couple of those might be the Gardevoir Evolution line, where they're with their trainer and they're growing up together. There is the Fuecoco and the shopping cart evolving over time. There's the Sprigatito line, the Quaxley line. So a lot of really cool connecting arts And he had a bunch of them in his binder already, including the ones I mentioned. Unfortunately, didn't have any new ones that he was looking for. But it was still really neat to see someone working on kind of something unique, you know, not a set, not a specific character, but all of the really cool storytelling arts. Lunch finally showed up. It was maybe 1:30 or so. And it came from my absolute favorite Austin local restaurant. Hey! My favorite local pizza place, Domino's. Yes, that's right. Domino's Pizza. The family that was at the table, they were gracious enough to let me stuff my face while they shopped. And then they ended up picking up some nice stuff. I had overheard the parents mention that the daughter had lost a Wailord alt art. They had picked it up, and I guess it fell out of her binder and they couldn't find it. I made the joke that it had pulled a Free Willy. I don't think anyone laughed, but that's okay. I think it's a good joke. And so I had a Wailord that I ended up giving her as well, just because, you know, it's never fun to lose something like that. And so was able to replace the Wailord for her. A Greninja Hunter showed up, and I'm usually pretty good about knowing what cards I put out in my case and what cards I have. And so when he said that he was on the hunt for Greninjas, I knew I'd picked up a Greninja earlier in the day, and I was like, oh, you know, I've only got the one, and let me find it. Okay, it's right here. Turns out I lied. Turns out I had more than one. I think I have a single Greninja card right now. Let me see if I can find him. This one right there. You can pull it out and you can take a look at it if you want. Oh, that's true. I forgot I picked that up today.
Oh, another Greninja.
All right, I lied. I have more than one Greninja. Yeah, we have. They ended up picking up quite a few things. So we did a really neat trade. I think they left happy with some Greninjas as well as some other stuff. All right, this was by far my biggest pickup at this show, and one of the bigger pickups I've gotten at a show. My guy came up. He just had this box of stuff, no binders or anything, and he was like, "Hey, I wanted to give you the first chance to buy some of this." And he pulled out a Gold Star Mewtwo. That's usually not something I pick up, but in my mind I was like, oh, maybe I should. Could be worth grading, you never know. And we looked it over. I think it looked the front's nice, like the foil looked pretty good. The back is where there's a lot of wear and tear. I think it had a shot at like a PSA 5. So we tried to price it like between like heavy play up through PSA 5 comps a little bit. I think we landed on, I can't remember if we landed on 1900 or 2000. And then a percentage of that for cash. He picked up one or two things that brought it down to a little over 1400 in cash, which was definitely the biggest pickup for the show. And excited to get that one. I think I'll probably grade it, just see what it gets. But one of the few Gold Stars I have actually in my possession, which is really neat. And he was just carrying everything around in a box, and he didn't have any binders. And so he's like, oh, I'm going to go try to find some binders to carry this stuff around in. And I had gotten some binders from people to give out. And so I gave him 2 to hopefully make it a little easier for him to organize his stuff. You might remember Trey, who gave us the full art Mew to give out. Well, we had a Mew and Mewtwo fan roll up, and I think we found the perfect person to give that card away to.
I have $150.
Oh, you came to the right place, brother. Happens to be every card I own is $150. Ken, do you have a favorite Pokemon?
Mew and Mewtwo.
Mew and Mewtwo. Have you gotten this Mew yet?
No.
So someone came by this morning and gave this to me to give away to a Mew fan. So I would like for you to have that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So then a guy named Bear and his dad came through. I made a joke that he was hunting for Ursalunas, but again, and Teddy Ursas.
Bear.
Bear, great to see you. Or like the TV show, The Bear. It's a show about a chef, yeah. Bear, what are you on the hunt for? Besides for Ursarangs and Blood Moon Ursalunas, of course. I don't know if my jokes land, guys. I think they're good. They're so witty. Anyway, maybe it wasn't witty enough. He didn't laugh. And Bear actually saw a card his dad needed and bought a card for his dad, which I don't know if I've seen a kid buy their parent something before. If I have, it's very infrequent, very few and far between. And so I just thought that was really nice of him. It's really cool to see a son and a dad connecting over a hobby and to see a son do something like that for their dad. We actually were able to give him the 4D Pikachu puzzle that Erica had given us the day before. Definitely something for a slightly older kid because it's a little more complicated. So was happy to be able to find someone that could take that as well. And last but certainly not least that came through my line on Sunday was a guy who had a Polaroid camera, and he asked if we wanted a Polaroid. He had taken one actually without me knowing on Friday night. Phil and I were cutting a cake because Cards and More Tour, which is like the umbrella for Trading Card Con, it was their second year. It was their 2-year birthday. And so we cut a cake. We were giving out the cake after the podcast during the meet and greet stuff. So he had taken a Polaroid of that cake cutting, had to sign it. Apparently it's on some limited edition purple film. I don't know anything about Polaroids, but I thought that was pretty neat. And so it was just kind of a fun little way to end the show. So I want to thank everyone who tuned into the live stream for this event. Always appreciate everyone watching. Tons of donations came through. We were able to give out a ton of stuff at this show. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the new format. Open to comments, critiques, constructive criticisms, to continue to iterate and evolve this sort of content. But wanted to give this a try. I marked I've got all these notes as I went through my videos watching the live streams with timestamps and all that stuff to go pull footage. But really appreciate you all, and hopefully more of this in the near future. I'll see you again very, very soon. Take care. Peace.